Incredible to be back here on the campus of the Alexander Mas High School in Israel, the site in which I recorded my first video message earlier this year. And to be here and to think about how much has changed in only 8 months, how much has changed in terms of our JLA community, and how much has changed in the Jewish community since our school year first began. From the perspective of the school community, when I recorded my first message here on this campus 8 months ago, the JLA community was a bunch of papers. Our students were applications. Our teachers were CVs. Our campus was a bunch of beautiful renderings. None of it had come to life. Certainly none of it had come together. And so there were all sorts of unknowns. What would it look like when things began to jump off the paper? What would it look like when they began to interact with each other? And looking back on it now, I don't think we could have imagined it as incredibly powerful, as incredibly enriching as it turned out. 8 months ago was before we had any robotics trophies on our shelves. It was before 40% of our student body had been inducted into National Honor Societies. It was before we had an open mic night in which 30% of our student body not only showed up, but shared their own writing, proud of what they were doing in the liberal arts. This was before our students were out in the community, not only servicing others, becoming a mainstay in the lives of senior citizens, a mainstay in the lives of those who visit homeless shelters, a mainstay in the lives of those who are helping others to improve our community, kids who are now thinking about what they can do to create their own impactful organizations in the world and solving problems that they see. Before any of that, we were here on this campus with our upper school just beginning to come together. And of course, it was at a time where the Jewish community was in a vastly different place. 8 months ago, when we were here at the Alexander Mas High School in Israel, things were completely peaceful. Places like Columbia, Penn, Harvard were places you didn't think twice about sending a Jewish student. New York City was a place you would walk and you wouldn't think twice if you wanted to wear a kippah, for sure. If you didn't, also okay, but you never worried that somehow you'd be in danger as a result. The times have changed dramatically. And as I think about now, the role that JLA has played in this vastly changed world, it was, again, nothing that we could have ever anticipated. It wasn't necessarily part of the plan, but it has become something so incredibly special as a result. I think the JLA community, in the context of the wider Jewish community, has served multiple functions that have proven to be truly invaluable, both to our students and to our families. It begins with education. So much of what is wrong in the world today has to do with a lack of education. It has to do with ignorance, it has to do with a lack of sophistication and critical thinking, the ability to see multiple sides to a problem, and that is what we're focused on at JLA. It is giving our kids not just a top quality education, not just a rigorous education, something that will get them into colleges and graduate schools and beyond, but it's about teaching them to think and to think deeply, not to rely on sound bites or 40 characters or less. It's about teaching them to tackle problems from multiple perspectives and get deep in thinking about themselves and the world around them. So it starts with education, but it's also about community. And I think at times like we've had over the past 8 months, there's probably been nothing more important for our kids and for their families than having a sense of community. A place where we can come together and know that we can support each other. A place where we can learn together, we can educate ourselves together. A place where we can laugh together, a place where we can cry together. 400 of our parents, students, grandparents, siblings came together on Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut to be together, be in the moment, shoulder to shoulder, to reflect on what we've been through, to reflect on where we've been and where we are going. It was an incredibly powerful moment to come together as a community, and we needed it, and our kids needed it. And in addition to education and community is a connection to this land, to the state of Israel, because never in the history of the state of Israel has it been more important for young Jewish Americans to feel that they have a home here, to feel connected to the state, to its people, to its history, and to know that no matter where they live, whether it's in the United States, somewhere else over the globe, or here, their future is here and they are part of its future. They need to know that and understand that. They need to bring that with them to whatever college campus they land up attending. And that has been so much a part of what we've tried to do, both in that first month that we spent here with the high school and through subsequent programming, through our talks following tefillah each and every morning, through the tehillim that we said together, praying for our soldiers, for our brothers and sisters, for the hostages to come back. All of it has been about impressing our students that we may live in Miami, but a piece of our heart is here and always should be. And so as I look forward to next year, I look forward to a year for the Jewish people that is drastically unlike what we experienced this year. A year in which things return to a state of calm. A year in which our hostages have returned home, in which our young men and women who are fighting return home. A time in which the world comes to see what good is and what evil is. A time in which the place of the Jewish people within the context of the larger world returns to a place of respect, a place of love, a place of acceptance. And for our JLA community, I want the bonds that we've created this year only to grow. I want the challenge that we've given to our students only to grow. I want our teachers who have set the bar high to set it even higher as we move into next year. And the new students that we're coming in as we double our size for next year, I want them to experience what it means to be part of this JLA family, what it means to have a sense of community, what it means to challenge themselves, to do work and to achieve at a level that they've perhaps never seen before, and to feel the sense of fulfillment of what it feels like to have worked hard and then to achieve. But most of all, I want them to be in a place where they feel that they're at home. And that is what we've been doing for the past 8 months. It's the foundations that we've been creating, and it's the foundations upon we look forward to building in the year to come. Have a wonderful summer.